Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why it is so hard to get off the couch and do something active, even when you know you should? Well, this new study might have a clue. We all know sedentary behavior like watching television or playing video games can be bad for us. But what if the reason we love doing it so much isn't just the fun of the game, but also how easy it is? What if our brains are wired to reward us for doing less work? This research dives into that exact question. Scientists are starting to think that maybe we're not just attracted to the exciting video games or engaging television shows we do while sitting. Maybe the simple act of sitting itself, requiring very little physical effort, is actually rewarding us. Imagine that it's 7 p.m. and you've been playing the same smartphone video game for ages. Is it just the game? Or is there something about being comfy and not moving that feels good? This study wanted to find out by messing with simple things like sitting versus standing while people played a game. And guess what? They found that the low effort of sitting really does seem to boost how rewarding we find these activities. This could be a big deal for understanding why we spend so much time sitting and how we might encourage more movement. Let's get into the researchers' thinking. We usually talk about why we do sedentary stuff by looking at the enjoyable activity we're doing. For example, people say they watch television because it's relaxing or play video games because they're fun. The idea is that the activity itself has a high value. But what if we're overlooking something super fundamental? The theory of effort minimization in physical activity, or TEMPA for short, suggests that humans might be naturally drawn to doing things that require the least physical effort. Think of it like evolution wiring us to conserve energy. So when we're sitting, we're not just relaxing, we're actively minimizing effort, and the reward system in our brain might actually like that. This study wanted to test this, specifically focusing on how the body position, like sitting versus standing, might change how rewarding a common sedentary activity, like playing a smartphone game, feels. So they designed two studies. The first one, study one, was like a test run using imagination. They asked people to imagine playing a popular game like Tetris, either sitting or standing, and then told them to report how much they thought they would like it and want to play it. They were also asked what hypothetical game they'd choose next. The second study, too, took it a step further. This time, participants actually played Tetris, either sitting or standing in a lab, and then reported their feelings about the game, both how they expected to feel beforehand and how they actually felt afterward. They also had to make a real choice about which game to play next. They measured something called liking, which is the pleasure you get, and wanting, which is the motivation or desire to seek out the reward. In study 1, they gathered 228 participants. Half were asked to imagine playing Tetris for 10 minutes while sitting, and the other half imagined doing it while standing. Then they rated how much they anticipated liking and wanting to play Tetris. And here is what they found. First, for liking, participants who imagined sitting reported they would like playing Tetris more than those who imagined standing. The average score for liking was significantly higher when they imagined sitting. It was a similar story for wanting. Those imagining sitting expected they would want to play the game more than those imagining standing. This suggests that even just imagining the low effort of sitting made the game seem more appealing. However, when it came to the choice of what to play next, things got a bit surprising. In study 1, participants who imagined standing were actually more likely to say they'd choose to keep playing Tetris than those who imagined sitting. The researchers thought this might be due to something called effort justification, where we value something more if we've put effort into it, even if it's just imagined effort. It's like our brain tries to convince us it was worth it. Because study 1 was based on imagination, the researchers wanted to see if the same thing happened in real life. So they conducted study 2 with 129 participants in a lab setting. This time, people actually played Tetris for 10 minutes, either sitting or standing. They also measured both forecasted liking and wanting before playing and actual liking and wanting after playing. The results for liking and wanting were pretty much what they expected. When participants actually played Tetris while sitting, they reported higher levels of actual liking and wanting for the game compared to when they played it standing. This confirms that the ease of sitting really does make the experience feel more rewarding. However, just like in study 1, the behavioral choice part was different. In study 2, there was no significant difference in whether people chose to keep playing Tetris or switch to another game, regardless of whether they had been sitting or standing. The researchers suggest that perhaps the effort of standing in their study wasn't perceived as high enough to trigger that effort justification effect they saw in study 1. It's a subtle point, but it highlights how complex our decision-making can be. So, what does all of this mean? The core takeaway is that when we engage in sedentary behaviors like playing video games, the low physical effort involved in sitting likely boosts how rewarding we find that activity. It's not just about the fun of the game, it's also about the ease of our posture. Study 1 showed that imagining sitting made Tetris seem more likable and desirable. Study 2 confirmed this with actual playing, showing that sitting led to higher actual liking and wanting compared to standing. This is super important because it means our sedentary habits might be partly driven by a fundamental preference for minimizing physical effort. It is a built-in reward for low-energy expenditure. This has big implications for public health. If we want people to be more active, we can't just focus on making exercise appealing. We also need to consider how to increase the perceived reward value of physical effort itself. Maybe we can find ways to make movement feel more rewarding, or perhaps less rewarding to sit for prolonged periods. It's about understanding the complete picture of what makes us choose one behavior over another. Now, like any study, this one has its limits. For example, they use single-item self-reports for liking and wanting, which might not capture the full picture. Also, they conducted the studies in different countries, and with slightly different procedures, making direct comparison tricky. They also didn't control for things like how familiar people were with playing games while standing, or how comfortable they felt in each position. Plus, in the behavioral choice task, the participants in the standing group were asked to choose between games while sitting, which means their body posture didn't change, while those in the sitting group were already seated. This difference might have influenced the results. However, the study also has some great strengths. They carefully selected the games and pre-registered their hypotheses and analysis plans, which makes their findings more reliable. Ultimately, this research offers a valuable insight. The rewarding value of sedentary behavior isn't just about the activity itself. It's also about the low physical effort we expend when sitting. So, the next time you find yourself glued to a screen, remember it might not just be the content, but also the comfort of your seated position that's keeping you there. This reminds us that promoting active lifestyles isn't just about pushing people to exercise more, but also about making physical effort feel more intrinsically rewarding. Understanding this interplay between effort and reward could be key to helping us all move more. What do you think about these findings? Does the idea of your brain rewarding you for sitting surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this interesting, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more science explained simply, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the fascinating world of the mind. Thanks for watching.